touch.
Yeah. Any special requests from you today, Kristen? Want any quick special requests?
Oh, no.
I would like to check in.
Thank
Yeah. Okay, well, let's start laying down. Let's lie on your back and just feel your body on the mat. If you need, if your low back tender, maybe knees bent, feet flat, you kind of decide. You need to wiggle around, feeling into your body. Notice the fluctuations in your body and your mind right here. Take a few more breaths and just imagine like you're inside of a snow globe that's been all shook up and all the little pieces are settling, the little glitter, the little snow, just let it settle. And let it, each breath get a touch longer than the one before it. When you feel ready, just begin to stretch your body. So you can take your arms overhead, stretch your legs, maybe one at a time. You can rotate wrists and ankles, stretch your fingers. Good, and then draw the right knee up into your chest. And you'll hold on just below the knee at the front of the shin. Move a little bit right to left. Hold the right knee in your right hand and take it to the right, and then flex the foot, pull the toes back on both feet, flex both feet. Press the left heel away, pull the right toes up, take the knee a little higher maybe. And glue that left hip towards the ground. Good, and then bring it back to center and let the feet relax for a moment, maybe even rotate the ankles. It could be just the right or both. And then you'll interlace your hands behind the right thigh, holding onto the hamstring, and then flex the foot here with the knee bent, and then straighten the leg and point the toes. Bend the knee, flex the foot, straighten the leg, point the toes. So that's 2, we're gonna do 10. Bend the knee, flex the foot, straighten the leg, point the toes. 3, bend and flex, straighten and point. Bend and flex, straighten and point. Just a few more at your own pace. You can go slower or quicker. I have all kinds of little pops in my knee. My knee does all kinds of weird things. Just notice your body and moving in a way that feels okay to you. Something's electric or really painful, back out or pause. Either way. Good, just 1 or 2 more. Good, and then bend the knee, interlace your hands in front of the shin again, draw it in a little closer. 1 more time, right to left. Good, and then extend the right leg out long alongside the left. Stretch your arms overhead. Good, and then that little wiggle side to side or climbing side to side or rotating of the wrists and ankles, like a big yawn through the body. And then you'll draw the left knee in and interlace in front of the shin to start, moving right to left, massaging the hip flexors, the front of the hip. Then hold the knee in the left hand, open it out, or the leg in the left, open it out, flex the left foot, flex the right foot. Imagine you're taking that big high step on the left to feel a stretch to the inner thigh, maybe up into the groin area. You feel that little compression. Keep that right hip glued and slow, deep breaths. And then bring it back to center and maybe rotate the ankles each direction. And then bring your hands behind the thigh, holding onto the hamstring. Flex the foot as the knee is bent. And then when you straighten the leg, you point the toes to the ceiling. And do that about 10 times. Doesn't have to be exact. It feels good to pause somewhere. You can pause to feel the stretch or continue to move. This one is about the sciatic nerve. This is called flossing of the sciatic nerve. You're stretching it end to end. We'll bend and flex, straighten and point. So it's also hamstring, but we're kind of focusing a little more on that, the nerve moving and sliding and gliding. Couple more times. Just notice if the muscles of the, for me, the muscles in my left quad are fatiguing. It just means that those muscles have been overworking or kind of turned on constantly. I know I've been driving, I just shared that. So sitting in that flexed position does that. So if the body's kind of fatiguing and tired in the bigger muscle groups, focus more on the closer to the bone muscles or rest. Okay, good. Now bend the knee, give it one more big squeeze, see if it can come in a little closer, moving it right to left a couple times. Good, and then stretch the body out on the floor, left leg out alongside the right, arms overhead. Again, rotate wrists and ankles or climb from side to side. And then you'll carefully draw both knees into the chest. You can do one at a time or both together, wrapping your arms around your shins. See if you can find your elbow points or hold the forearms. And then you can slowly start to rock side to side, just very small. Then come to center and you'll take your arms and just open them wide on the floor. Let the knees go to the left. And they can stay stacked on top of each other, right on top of left, or you can stagger them if that feels better. Either way, bottom can go back or top can go back. You could also hold the right leg if you want. So that gentle twist. Breathing into the right side of the chest, shoulder, ribs, waist, right hip and lower back. Your next inhale, you'll bring the knees back up to the chest and wrap your arms around the shins again. Reach for the elbows. You can add a little rock or you can be in stillness. Notice if one side is different. Can you breathe deeper into the right lung? Just notice. And then coming through center, open the arms wide. Now the knees go to the right. And you can choose to stack the knees or stagger them or hold the left thigh. Notice any tight or restricted areas on this side from the shoulder to the chest, the ribs to the waist, to the hip and the low back. Just notice. What your body might want to tell you about this side. Good, inhale, come back to center. One more time, wrap your arms around the legs, giving yourself a hug. It can be stillness or that rocking, that very gentle, soothing rocking. And then setting the feet to the floor, we're going to come up into bridge pose. So it's going to be a low bridge, arms by your sides. Tuck the tailbone to the ceiling and start to lift the hips up. And then you don't want to go so high that the ribs come off the ground though. So pressing the rib cage back towards the ground as the hips rise. So it's a little core strength. This is about the diaphragm and breathing. So as you exhale, you want to strongly pull the front floating ribs in towards the midline, back towards the floor, and down towards the pelvis to get a full exhale. And then as you inhale, slowly expand the lungs sideways, trying to breathe up into the armpits. And then as you exhale, again, you pull the muscles, so it's the core muscles, ribs go in, back, and down to empty all the way. And then fill up again. You're going at your own pace. So we want about 5 breaths with that real deliberate full exhale. Good. And then as you're ready, you'll lower down slowly. And then you can allow the knees to knock together. The heels can turn out a little bit. Find a relaxed position. Let the breath be easy. We'll do one more round of those. So you'll separate the knees, feet about hip width, toes straight ahead, approximately arms by your side. Tuck the tailbone up first, then lift the pelvis, pulling the rib cage back down towards the mat. And try to take 5 really deliberate breaths. Breathing in, filling up the lungs sideways if you can. So that the belly's not rising up, it's more sideways. As you breathe out, pulling those ribs in, back, and down. Just might feel a little heat in those upper abdominal muscles, but it's really about the diaphragm, learning to work in completion, like really emptying completely, filling up completely. The retraining of the breathing muscles, so expanding the ribs, kind of clearing the lungs. This is an honor system. After about 5 breaths, you could do more if you want, but after about 5, you'll slowly lower down, or when you feel fatigued, lower down, let the knees knock together and pause. Good, and then you'll draw the knees up into your chest. And then cross your ankles. Take your feet up to the ceiling. It's a funny song. Feet to the ceiling, ankles crossed. You're going to hold on behind the thighs. You're going to get a little momentum. You're going to rock back and forth. Good. Rock back, tuck your chin, then around the spine and forth. Good. One more time. Rock back. You'll come all the way forward. And if you can, tuck the feet underneath you and come onto hands and knees. And if the feet are better sideways, do that. You can take them to the side. Good, Linda. All right, we made it to tabletop, and then drop your belly, lift your chest for cow, and then moving through cat. Your own pace, your own timing, your own way. I want to change the music, but I'm not going to. Just leave it. It's on a random list, apparently. So something that you can play with here as you're moving through these is where you press into your hands, how you're pressing into your hands. The other thing you can play with is the placement of your feet. Sometimes the feet in or sometimes out changes the way the pelvic bones are working. So I like to take my feet out a little bit, and it just changes things, or in a little bit, or just kind of play with it, or lean back, lightening the wrists as you round into cat, or lean forward in your cow. So just we'll take a few moments here kind of explore, or even on your fingertip, like there's no right or wrong. Then come to neutral, and you're gonna drop your elbows down to the mat. So bring the elbow points where the hands were, so elbows down, and then bring your palms together. And then all you're gonna do is walk the knees back so the chest moves back into puppy pose. So the hairline or forehead rests on the floor, and then bend the elbows so fingertips go to the sky. And then I want you to press into the fingertips and slowly separate the palms, like you're holding an orb or globe in the hand. Fingertips press, chest moves down and back, elbow points are glued to the mat, breathing.
It's like a movie.
I know, I feel like I'm in a movie. And then release the hands slowly back to the floor. And then just slide your body back into child's pose. You can take the knees and separate them. And just soften here. Good, and then on your next breath, we'll come back up to tabletop, hands and knees. And then this time we'll do the push-up plus kind of thing. So you're gonna soften between the shoulder blades. You create a sinking, it's a retraction of the shoulder blades. And then you'll push the floor away and separate between the shoulder blades and stretch that upper back. And do that a few times. Arms stay straight, sink between the shoulder blades, and then lift between the shoulder blades. Good, one more like that. And then come to neutral, and we're gonna do those one-handed. So you'll keep your left hand grounded. With your right hand, you're gonna hold on to these muscles on the outside of the ribs. These are called the serratus muscles, and you're gonna try to do it one-handed. So sink between the shoulder blades, and then push and lift between the shoulder blades, and feel those little muscles right there contract. Do that again, sink and lift. Push the floor away and lift, and feel those little muscles, the serratus muscles contract. One more time. Good, and then come to neutral, both hands to the mat, and we'll switch sides. Bring the left hand to the right ribs or outside the armpit area and sink, nice and slow, and then lift. Push the floor away and try to separate the shoulder blades. Sink and lift. One more, nice and slow, really taking your time. Notice if one side feels easier than the other. Good, and then both hands down. And let's walk the arms forward into a different puppy pose. So arms will go way far forward this time instead of elbows. And then drop the chest and forehead towards the mat. And now you're stretching out those serratus muscles, the outside of the armpits, the shoulders, soften between the shoulder blades. I'm going to take one more breath. And then gently come on up. We'll walk your hands back towards the knees, tuck the toes under, and you're going to press up to standing in a forward fold at the back of the mat. So just press to the feet, and you can hold on to your elbows and ragdoll. Release the hands to the mat. You're going to bend your knees and bring, or keep your left hand where it is. So it can stay on the floor or it can be on your forearm. You'll decide. So left hand to the floor, left knee bent. You're going to straighten the right leg. and then open the right arm towards the sky. And then you'll switch. So it could be forearm on thigh if you need, or hands to the floor. Bend the knees, straighten the left leg, and twist to the left. So right knee's bent. Good. Do that one more time each side. Bend the knees, left hand down, left knee bent, twist to the right. And then switch, bend the knees, right hand down, right knee bent, left leg straight and open. Beautiful. Both hands down, bend both knees, and roll up to stand. Good, and then take the arms, sweep them up overhead, and draw the hands down to the heart. Good, and then arms by your side. We'll take a walk up to the front of the mat into mountain pose. You can have the feet together or feet hip width, it's up to you. We'll move through a few sun salutations. As you're ready, inhale, reach up high. Exhale, forward fold. You can bend the knees as much as you need. Inhale, halfway lift. And then plant the hands, walk your feet back, high plank. And then set the knees down. We're gonna do low plank on the knees. So I want you just to micro bend the elbows so the shoulders stay really integrated in their sockets. Just micro bend, hold. Good, and then you'll point the toes, straighten the legs, straighten the arms, upward dog. Good, and then downward dog. You can set the knees down, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Take 3 breaths here. Bottom of the next exhale, you'll look forward and walk or hop your feet towards your hands. Halfway lift, hands can come to the shins as you lengthen the spine. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, rise to the top, extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, we'll do that again. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank. Hold it. Set the knees down, micro bend the elbows. Lower your body halfway. Upward dog, point the toes, lift the heart. Good, downward dog, press the hips back. You can pedal it out or be still, but breathing. Thinking about that sideways breath, and every exhale, pull the front ribs in, back, and down. Good, on the bottom of the last exhale, next one, look forward and walk or hop to the front of your mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, extended mountain. And exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, extended mountain reach. Exhale, forward fold, bow. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, high plank. Stay there, knees down, breathe in. Exhale, lower micro bend, really using the strength in the arms and chest. Upward dog. Good, downward facing dog. Downward dog, bring your feet closer together and rise up to your tiptoes, to the balls of the feet, and then stretch the right leg to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip, stay rooted and grounded in the hands, high on the ball of that left foot. Good, and then step it forward, right foot comes up towards the right hand, set your left knee down, point the toes. And then you're just gonna move the hips back and forth. And it mimics, remember with the knee bent, foot flexed that we did? That's this, knee bent, foot flexed, and then legs straight, toe pointed. So it's about that sciatic nerve again. You can adjust the foot if you want it in a different place. And the next time you bend the knee, you'll stay there. And then tuck the back toes under and lift the back leg, doing a low lunge. And then plant the left hand. It could be on a block or flat on the floor and open to the right. And then if it feels good, you can even straighten that right leg. As you open and twist. Good, and then bend the knee, plant the palms, step it back, either to down dog or high plank, knees down, low plank, upward dog, or maybe cobra, downward dog. Good, bring your feet together. Come high to the balls of the feet, lift the left leg to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip. Then big step forward, or help it. Set the back knee down, point the toes, and then moving the hips back and forth. You decide if you need to pad that back knee or adjust the placement of the foot. And it's not wrong. If you want to flex that foot and pull back and feel a bigger hamstring stretch, that's fine too. Or try keeping the foot down, then that's more about the sciatic nerve. Hearing your breath, I've missed it. I think what I've missed the most is the dedicated time to feel into my body. That's what I get like lose when I go away. Carving out that time, it's so important for me, for my well-being. Okay, next time you bend the knee, you'll stay there, tuck the right toes under, so you lift into that lunge, and then plant the right hand and twist to the left, and the left knee can stay bent, or you can slowly straighten it. A little more IT band and piriformis, and holy tight. Holy cow. Good, bend the knee, plant the palms, either down dog or high plank to low or child's pose anytime. Nice, Erin. Upward dog or cobra, downward dog, pulling the hips up and back, pedaling it out, moving in any way that feels good in your body. Lift your heels, bend your knees, looking forward. You can walk or hop. Force the hands, good. Halfway lift. Forward fold, let the head drop. Maybe shake it, yes and no. And then bend your knees. We'll come into chair pose. Sweeping the arms up overhead. They can be biceps by your ears, or arms can be parallel. You choose what feels best to you today. See if you can focus on those front ribs, drawing in, back, and down, and breathing sideways. Sitting just a little deeper, weight in the heels, and then go ahead and stand up tall, reach up high, and set the hands to the heart. And then bring the hands down to your hips, and you'll step your left foot back. I'm gonna go this direction. And turn the feet to parallel. Good. All right, good. And then from here, you'll turn the right toes to the right and start to bend the right knee, moving in and out of warrior two a couple times. Bend and straighten. I teach little kids, we call this surfing warrior. Linda, go a little wider with your stance. Yes. And then bend the knee, stay there, and then take the arms and open them out. Coming into your warrior pose. Good. Check in, ungrip your toes, ungrip your jaw. Then flip your right palm up, reverse the warrior here, just go back. Then you'll bring it forward into side angle, setting forearm to thigh or hand to the floor. Left arm can be of your choice. It might want to be up, might want to be overhead extended. It might want to wrap behind the back for a bind, or the full or half. Beautiful. Stay for one more breath. And then you'll let that left arm unwind and pull you back up, bringing your feet to parallel and hands to the hips. Turn the left toes to the left and bend and straighten the left leg a couple times. Right toes can turn forward a little bit or be parallel to the edge of your mat. Being intentional as you move here, trying to draw the left knee left. Next time you bend the knee, we'll stay there. When you think about aligning the bones, yeah, arms can float up. So lining the bones and then wrapping the muscles around the bones. Draw those front floating ribs in, back and down. Flip the left palm up, reverse your warrior, take it back. And then bringing it forward, side angle warrior, left forearm to thigh or hand to the floor, right arm of your choice. It can be straight up or overhead or move. You can do circles or bind or half bind. So if you can be guided by intuition, guided by the sensations, feelings in your body, rather than thoughts in your head or some standard or some alignment, even just be guided by intuition. And then unwind the right arm. If it's not there already, let it pull you to stand. Turn your feet to parallel, hands to hips, and then heels in, toes out. Goddess squats. You'll bend the knees. Hands can stay on the hips or come up into cactus. That's one of my favorite arm positions. Or hands could be on the thighs in a horse stance, more supportive. You choose. We'll hold this about 5 breaths. Front floating ribs in, back and down, knees slightly pressing out, not trying too hard. Sitting a little deeper if you dare. It's there. Good, and then straighten the legs, release the arms, turn the toes in, heels out, hands on the hips, wide leg forward fold. You'll just bow forward. And we'll take a little twist here. So let's do this one. Lift to a flat back. We're going to do a couple different ones. Lift to a flat back. You'll plant the left hand at the center and fingers can be forward or they can turn to the right. You choose either one really, or the left, you choose. And then the right arm opens up towards the ceiling. So the different placements of the hands create different feelings in the shoulders and the wrists. You can play with it. The hips will want to go crooked, try and keep them kind of relatively square, lengthening the spine, front ribs in, back and down. Good, and then switch. She'll bring the right hand down. I love looking at the different colors my hands become, and then twist left. You learn about like circulation. What happens when an arm's up or when an arm's down or when it's the base, and breathing here. Nice, taking one more breath. And then both hands down. Now walk your hands forward out in front of you like down dog arms. Drop your head. And then we'll do the second twist. The left hand now will reach under the right towards the right ankle. So hold the ankle. And then you can do a couple things. You can either bend the elbow and bring your chest towards the right thigh, maybe right arm to the sky. That's one option. Another option is walking the right hand left towards the foot even, twisting. You choose what feels better to you today. Good, and then we'll come back to center, both arms out in front, square the hips intentionally, take a pause. And then other side, right hand goes to the left. Maybe bend the elbow, chest towards the left thigh, maybe left arm to the sky, or walking to the right diagonally. Hold it for 3, 2. Good, and 1, back to center. And then walk your hands back in underneath you, lift to a flat back, bring your hands to your hips and come up to stand. Good job. And then turn the right toes forward and we'll step back up to the front of the mat. Yeah, just kind of shake it out. That was a long time in that wide leg. How are your legs? Good. Shocking, right? All right. We're gonna move to some balance, rolling the shoulders up, back and down a couple times. Julia's in the room. I'm like a little. Good. And then they'll take the arms, sweep them up overhead. And you're gonna take the right arm underneath the left, eagle arms. And then when you're ready, you'll bend the knees and the right leg will stack up and over the left. And you can have your big toe on the floor, or you can even have both feet on the floor in a chair pose. Think about the elbows lifting up as the shoulders move back. Really root through the left standing foot. And then release, mountain pose, extended mountain. And then other side, left arm under and left leg over. Bend the knees, maybe pause in chair. Get grounded, get your bearings. Good, Linda, try to get into the ball of the foot. Stretch the toes out. Good, perfect. Eyes steady, look straight ahead. I look right through my forearms. Good, and then release, an extended mountain reach. And bring the hands down to heart center. And then left hand to left hip for standing leg raise. So go ahead and lift the right knee and catch it in the right hand. So we did this on our back on the floor to start. So it's that same sensation. Imagine the floor behind you. And open it to the right. Flex the foot and draw the knee up. Good. You can reach to the right, of course, or left. Breathing. And bring it back to center. Interlace your hands behind the thigh. Flex the foot here. Point the toes as you straighten the leg. Bend and flex. Straighten and point. We're just going to do 5. Bend and flex. Straighten and point. 3. Bend and flex. Straighten and point. 4. One more time. Straighten, point, hold, hold, hold. And set it down. Good job. Big breath in, go up, maybe a tiny back bend, and then hands to your heart. Other side, right hand, right hip. Go ahead and lift the left knee, or you can hold the bar to catch the foot or knee, flex the foot, stand tall in your body. And then opening it to the left. Remember those ribs, pull the front ribs in, back and down. Try to breathe sideways. Brings your attention here. Then you can reach right, lift up a little higher. Back to center, interlace your hands behind the thigh, flex the foot as the knee bends, straighten and point. 1, bend and flex, straighten, point. 2, bend and flex, straighten, point. 3, 2 more, straighten, point. Last one. Hold, hold, hold. 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Good. Wiggle it out. Little twist side to side. Okay, one more balance. I always like to end the balance series in tree. Do you guys need air? Getting a feeling. We can do that. Okay. Tree pose, right foot to left leg, our final balance here. And you can help it, or you can just set it wherever it lands is fine, or you can help it up a little higher. You can choose your arms, so it can stay hands at the heart, or cactus, or arms lifted and extended. Beautiful trees. Nice heather. to mountain pose. And switching to the other leg if you're ready. Take your time. Thing on my trip, so I traveled with my daughter. We drove all the way through California, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, and back. And everywhere we went, I'm like, so pretty, so beautiful. And my daughter's like, Mom, you say that about everything. And I go, well, someday I'm gonna be gone and you're gonna be driving somewhere and be like, my mom would love this place. And she said, anywhere with trees. Anywhere with trees. You guys are my beautiful trees right now. Awesome. Coming back to mountain pose. That's why I love yoga so much. It's all about nature. Okay, take a big breath in, reach up nice and high. And breathe out. Bend your knees as you fold forward. Drop your head, maybe shake it yes and no. And then inhale, halfway lift, lengthen and extend. And step back to high plank. Pause. And then lower all the way down onto your belly. Good. And then just stretch your arms out in front of you. Set your forehead to the floor. And just be grateful right here. And then from here, you're gonna slightly tuck the tailbone. So imagine the belly, low belly trying to lift. And slightly press down into the tops of the feet and the palms of the hands. So it's a little active. And then from here, you'll lift the right arm and the left leg. So it's opposite. Right arm, left leg. And the head will rise, but looking down. And then if you want, you can slide the left hand back a bit and lift a little higher, but reach, 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 reach. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then lower slowly and pause, walking the fingers forward, the toes back, pubic bone down. And then other side, when you're ready, lift the left arm and the right leg. You can slide the right hand back a bit. Lift the chest. Think about the muscles on the back side of the body, supporting, lifting you off the ground. Breathing sideways. And then lower down and pause and rest. Good, and then one more time. Inhale, lift the right arm and the left leg. 5, 4, get longer, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, and then other side, lift the left arm and the right leg. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. And then you'll just walk the elbows underneath you. Come up into Sphinx pose. It'll be our final back bend here today. We're holding Sphinx. And it can be really soft and easy, or it could be a little more active. Pressing again, pubic bone down, lower belly might try to lift. You can drag with the forearms, try to pull backwards, which slides the rib cage forwards. Draw the jawbone slightly back. And you're really strengthening the back. Nicely done. And then lower, slow. Slide the hands back under the shoulders. And we'll press all the way back to child's pose. If you need a quick stop in cow and cat, do that. Coming up to tabletop. We'll take the right arm to the sky. Just open it up or thread the needle, slide the right hand behind the left wrist onto the side of the shoulder and head. The left hand can stay for support at the floor, or it can walk overhead or open to the ceiling, kind of like what we did in that wide leg twist. Bring the left hand back beside your face. Take the right arm, open it back up to the sky, big breath in, and then set it down. We'll switch sides. Take the left arm open, reach and thread it behind the right wrist, coming to the side of the shoulder and head. And you choose like what to do with the feet. Maybe the feet go wide or together or spin to the right. Maybe the right arm goes up or behind the back or overhead. There's no right and no wrong. You just get to be free to move and be in your body. Then bring the right hand back beside the face, open the left arm back to the sky, big breath in, and set the left hand down. Now you get to choose downward dog into pigeon on the right leg or onto your back for reclined pigeon. So you choose. So you can come up to down dog for a moment and then either walk through coming to your back for reclined pigeon or right leg forward into a half pigeon. Nice, good choices, good options. When you're ready, maybe coming to your forearms. The back leg doesn't have to be straight. It can even bend to the side if that feels better. You'll gently switch to the other leg. Once you're ready, you can go back through down dog or just simply switch at the floor. And if that back leg doesn't feel like staying straight, it's okay to have it bent. You decide what, there's like thresholds. There's a threshold of the stretch or the sensation and the edges in every body. Sometimes it's more of a central nervous system that's controlling the stretch. So it's like speaking to your nervous system. Allow the body to open or soften or find comfort in this moment. I've wondered, I've been practicing yoga for 25 plus years and my hips keep getting tighter and tighter. And I'm like, why? And then I really researched recently the connection between our nervous system and our body's ability to be flexible and open. And I see that the fear, the stress, the worry that especially Sonoma County's been through in the last 5 years. No wonder all of our hips are tighter and our body in general has more pain. So being able to find moments where you can really relax and offer that statement to yourself, all is well. Drop into whatever it is for you, whether it's faith or trust, or divine grace. Come on up slowly and you'll bring your feet together. So if you're on your back, you'll roll up for Baddha Konasana. And bring the feet together. knees apart. And you can either start with the, feet closer into this tighter version of this, more inner thigh stretch opening that way, or you can take the feet farther forward. This is more for the nervous system, feet farther forward and just gently round down. You choose, you can even make a pillow out of your hands, or if you have a block or any props. Bend, forward folds are known to be an opportunity, again, for the nervous system to have like a reset. For the adrenal glands in particular, to kind of rest and restore. Then slowly walk it up and you'll make your way onto your back. You can draw the knees together and slowly roll down. And then you can either take the knees into the chest and give yourself a hug. You can take happy baby, holding the feet, or you can take a shoulder stand or hips on a block, waterfall, legs up. It can even be hands under the hips if you don't have a prop. See if you can decide what your body really needs right here. Your lower body's been really achy, knee or joint pain, then legs up is very healing and helpful. And then if there's any final poses your body craves, like a twist or plow or headstand or another moment here, go ahead and do that. Again, to make your way into Shavasana, and just take your time. If you're not quite ready or you want to complete what you're doing, go ahead.
Today's reading for July 12th from the book Journey to the Heart. Let the universe lead the way. Feel and see how the life force, the heartbeat of the universe, leads you on, guides you, takes you on the way. Yes, there are times when we need to march forward, muster up our willpower, and grind through the motions. But those times are transitory, and that's not the magical way we're living now. Even when we stop, doubt, wonder, get tired and confused, the universe is there to revitalize us, move us along our path, and lead the way. If you're tired, rest. If you're sad, cry. If you're thirsty, take a long, cold drink of water. If you feel hopeless, feel that. But know it's just for the moment. If you feel confused, feel that. Feel it until clarity, desire, hope, and meaning break through. You don't have to trudge through on willpower, not any longer. You do not have to push your way through. Rest until you feel healed. Then gently go forward. Let the universe assist you. Open your eyes, the eyes of your soul, and see where to go. Feel where to go. Sense what to do next. See how the magical power of the universe carries you along, even when you get tired, even when you get confused. You are connected to yourself, to the universal life force, to God. Quiet the chatter of your mind. Renew your body. Replenish your soul. Take in all the healing energy of the world around you. Then, let the universe lead the way. Fingers and toes. Stretch or move your body however it wants to stretch or move. Your time, bend your knees, roll to a comfortable side. Your eyes remaining closed, come on up to seated. Palms of your hands together, bring the thumbs to your heart space. And I feel the need for an Om today. So let's join together with the sound of Om. If you prefer to listen, that's always fine. Take a deep breath in. Namaste. Good to be back. Have a wonderful day. That was amazing. I felt it today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Yeah, good.
Here, have a good day.
You too. Bye.